Well, this morning you slept in a whole 9 minutes and 26 seconds.
You keep track of the seconds?
Of course. You chewed each bite of breakfast 8 more times than usual.
I will show you my
Hold
support.
a bucket more of water to wash your face.
Why do you keep track of such trivial things? You do know everything.
Last night, you tossed 8 times in your sleep and turned 6 times.
Well, that would explain... Wait, are you saying you didn't sleep last night?
Don't make this about me. We're talking about you and your health. But you can relax. I have just the thing to make you all better.
You're going to cast another curse on me, aren't you?
I already cast a curse to purify any spirits.
Of course you have. But when? With this many hexes, I'll have nothing to worry about.
But that's still not enough. We never know when someone else may curse you. I'll prepare numerous counter curses and be ready at a moment's notice.
Is there even anyone out there who wants to curse me? Aside from me, that is. Tharja, I appreciate your help, but isn't watching over me like this exhausting? I feel guilty knowing that you're going to such great lengths just for me.
I do this because I want to. Nothing to feel guilty about.
But why is it you pamper me so much?
You're my fated one, of course.
Oh yeah, fated one. Right.
Why, I've been watching over you since I first laid eyes upon you.
As you never fail to mention, you know you're special to me too.
I am?
I've been watching you too, and I see how hard you've been working. You use your magic for the good of everyone, not just me.
So you found out about the hexes I cast on everyone.
You work harder than anyone else here. You take a break once in a while.
Well, maybe I'll tone it down a little.
And in exchange, I'll watch over you. We can support each other from now on.
You are going to watch over me day after. You really are my fated one.
A fighter who can
Azura,
test me?
something's been bothering me. I sense such power when you sing that song of yours. It reminds me of a curse. It's both beautiful and ominous, and I can tell it each time.
You're very observant, Tharja. I'm impressed.
Why do you put yourself in such danger just to sing a song?
It's not just a song. It's how I support those I care for. Well, one in particular.
I guess we have more in common than our curses. I, too, have someone I care. Enough to lay down my life.
I had a feeling you would be able to relate.
Of course. I'm at my best when I can anyone I hold dear. Why, if the enemy were to even look at Robin, I would curse them to oblivion. And if he was hurt, I would create a brand new healing hex, just for him.
Oh, I had no idea hexes could be used for healing. Can you teach me? If I knew so much, perhaps I could put Corin without relying on myself.
I'm always glad to introduce a new soul to my dark eyes. But those as kind-hearted as yourself often simply aren't cut out for it.
In other words, I lack constitution for casting hexes? What a shame.
But I don't rely solely on magic to protect my Robin.
What do you mean?
I help him any way I can. I prepare his meals. I watch him when he sleeps. I look after him day and night. If he so much as catches a cold, I obliterate it.
You're so vigilant even outside of battle. Maybe I could do more for Corin, too. I've been so focused on helping her, even at the cost of my own well-being. But putting myself in danger is reckless. And I can't help anyone if I'm hurt. Thank you, Tharja. It was right before my eye, but you helped me see it clearly.
Hmm? Oh, I was just bragging about my devotion to Robin, but, you're welcome. Anyway, I should be going. I need to get my insurance.
Going right now? Please, allow me to help.
Really? Working through damp caves also requires a certain
Underestimate this foe.
I'll be fine if you're with me. After all, we do have more in common than curses. Maybe you can still teach me how to care for those I love without harming myself. Besides, I care for you as well. So maybe I'll begin looking after you day and night.
If you think you can handle it.
Then it's settled. What kind of spell are you putting together anyway?
Actually, it's for a counter curse. Think of it as a protection against curses. A dark mage such as myself normally has no reason for it. And I thought you'd know.
You're making it different to me. I don't know what to say, Tharja. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Anything to make continuing to look after me easy.
Oh, are you cooking something, Tharja? What kind of seasoning is that?
Salamander.
Ugh. Do you really eat that in the world you're from?
No. It's for a ritual I'm working on. The black snakes and bats are for it too.
Not food, then. Thank goodness. But what does it do in a ritual?
Depends. There are curses to cause incredible pain to the target. I can take complete control of the victim. And I guess it can cure disease.
Oh, wow. What about bringing someone back from the dead?
Death is not a disease. Why do you
Good.
ask that?
That's perfect.
I
don't think there's much more for me to
miss
teach
my father
you.
again. Feels so much I could learn. I inherited this tome aura from him, but it's nothing compared to all he knew.
Now that you mention it, I do sense a spirit radiating home. It isn't cursed, is it?
What? My father would never use dark magic.
Dark magic is often misunderstood. It can reflect your darkest thoughts, but it also reflects the good ones.
Maybe you're sensing the restriction on the tome. Father feared it would fall into the wrong hands, so only women can use it.
A restriction on the wielder? That is certainly something dark magic can do. However, I sense strong emotions from the previous user, too. I can't be sure, but maybe it isn't that the tome can only be used by women. Lind, this tome is filled to the brim with a desire to keep you safe from harm.
Really? It makes me happy to hear that, Tharja. Knowing some part of him is with me helps me miss him less. Even if we'll never see each other again, I'll always carry him by my side with this.
A lingering embrace, one that supersedes even death. That has a nice ring to it. I think I could accomplish such a thing using dark magic, too. Then my love and I... Oh...
Tharja? Hello?
Thank you, Lind. You've given me an idea for a new spell.
Okay. I'm not really sure what you mean, but I should be the one thanking you. Now I know that my father's lozenge in this tome. That means he'll be with me on the day I finally avenge his murder.
Greetings.
With that tome in hand, I'm sure nothing can stop you. But, if you don't mind, could I come by sometime and take another look at it? I think it can help me with some research I'm doing.
Of course. You're welcome to it anytime, Tharja. I'll be happy to show it to you.
Thank you, Lind. I have a feeling you and I are going to be very good friends.
Tharja, I've been meaning to say, your outfit is quite eye-catching.
Here goes.
What brings this up so suddenly?
I'd just never taken a good look before.
You gotta be kidding me. Let's make
This
this
is
quick.
traditional Plegian dark mage garb. It's functional.
I don't mean to offend you. It's just, you always grab the spotlight and...
I could say the same of you. Our outfits aren't so different, you know.
What do you mean? Mine is a completely different
It's okay with
style.
you? Let's wrap this
They
up
are
quickly
made
so I
from
can
a
get back to
similar
work.
material.
I ran.
But mine is a lot
Ran
brighter
so
than
far away
yours.
and left my behind
And
again.
far more demanding of the spotlight. Funny, for one so timid.
What? What do you mean? I'm not trying to grab the spotlight.
You know,
What?
so that you can be my safe in the future.
Surely
I
you must
appreciate
feel all eyes stuck to you.
Hey,
Oh, stop it, Tharja.
it's you.
You're
What
embarrassing
kind of
me.
attitude is that?
I just
Not you around just because you lost? You still call yourself...
I didn't know people were
Oh,
staring.
jeez.
Oh,
I can't believe the
need to
future
find a
me
new
is such a
outfit.
sissy.
But dancing in
And
these
wonder
clothes
why
is so
you can't
easy.
protect mine.
What should I do?
You mad?
Okay,
You
I've
can
got
show
it.
me what you got.
Starting tomorrow, I'll
Just try and beat me. I'll give you a real
and
fight.
then
Wow. That one took me by surprise.
Calm down, Olivia. I was only teasing.
What do you mean?
Your clothes are perfectly suitable for a dancer, as mine are for a plebeian.
You mean you were kidding about people staring at me in battle?
Oh, no, they're staring.
How could I fail?
Staring,
Piccolo,
tripping over
go
things,
ahead and
dropping
rest for a
weapons.
minute.
But letting other people's opinions bother you so much is foolish.
I guess you're right. It feels good to dance in this. And you like
Bring it
clothes.
on. We're just getting started.
Our battlefield, like Frederick with his bulky armor. And tongue.
You're actually a pretty nice person, aren't you, Tharja?
No.
But thanks
That's
to
enough.
you, I feel
I
a little
read your
more
message
confident.
loud and clear.
Like I can dance better.
I know what I have to do.
Gods, you're
I'll defeat
impressionable.
Black and
Someone needs to
Zamasu.
keep an eye on
Restore
you.
peace once more.
Huh?
Thanks.
What do you...
Little
Okay,
me.
I'll do
So
it.
you finally
I'll
get
watch
it,
over you,
don't you,
Olivia.
big me?
But in exchange, you have to spend some more time chatting with me.
You just want to chat?
There's something about you. You're honest. You may help me be better.
Oh, yes. In that case, I would love to chat with you some more. It'll be so nice for us to get to know each other. I can't wait to learn all about you.
Trunks,
I
come
may
spar with me
have
for a
just
bit.
cursed myself.
All right, let's get to it.
Awesome.
Wow! Super Saiyan 2 from the start? And I'll go Super Saiyan 2 as well. Take this! You're pretty good.
There are other ways.
Won't be enough to
Let's
stop
say,
it.
for example,
It's stronger.
the enemy has
Every
10
time
times
it
your
fights.
forces.
I see.
Even with strong knights, could you win?
How about this?
Well, victory in that case would be difficult.
But with a keen
This
strategy,
Super Saiyan 3.
sneak attacks,
What do you
pincers,
think?
diversions. See
Amazing.
what I mean?
A
You have to
Super
admit,
Saiyan 2
strategy
levels
and
beyond
tactics are
Super
just as
Saiyan.
important as any weapon.
You really are
Even so,
incredible.
coming up with strategy is a tactician's job, not a knight's.
Not true. A tactician can only plan for the future, not foresee it perfectly. The tide of battle shifts constantly. The front line must know how to adapt. Knights must have good judgment and adapt on the fly. Otherwise, the plan fails.
In other words, knights can't always just do what the tacticians say?
Precisely. Tacticians paint the broad strokes, knights fill in the details. So if a knight is strong enough to fight, and smart enough to employ strategy,
I know where you're going with this.
if you can protect your friends with your brains as well as your brawn, your skill as a knight will be peerless.
I like the sound of that. That's what I'll become.
That's the spirit. I'm sure you can do it.
In that case, would you mind teaching me strategy?
I wouldn't mind at all. I'll teach you everything I know. Let's start with what informs strategy. I have a list right here.
That is a really long list.
Somewhere out there, an enemy knight is actually putting in the time to study.
I can't let some enemy outclass me.
Hey,
All right,
come with
I'll
me.
do it. You must be a master tactician, huh? Do you know everything about strategy?
You haven't trained with that since that one.
Strategy is always changing, so I'm always studying.
Then let's study together. We'll each grow in our fields.
I'm sure you'll one day become not only a fine knight, but a fine king.
Huh? From a fine what?
You'll be great, Rowan. Now let's get started.
I remember you telling me you don't want to become a king. Why is that? It should be pretty obvious. Kings are weak. It's as simple as that. They need others to protect them, and they can't do anything on their own. I'm gonna be a knight instead, strong enough to protect everyone. I'd agree that a king cannot act alone, but does that mean he is weak? After all, he has found people willing to lay down their lives for him. Now consider your enemies. They may be giving their lives to protect friends. Does it make you strong to kill someone who has their own honorable intentions? Can you cut down your foe, knowing that their death will hurt their friends? I can. I will. There's no time for such hesitation in battle anyway. As long as I need to protect my sister, or defend this kingdom, I won't let doubt stop me from doing what has to be done. You're right. Your sword must be backed by unwavering confidence. That confidence comes from your bond with your sister and kingdom. Such connections are nurtured by a king, and they help to defend his realm. How does that work?
Way to go, Trunks.
Simply
Come
put,
a long way.
people who love the king
All
and the
on your
land
own.
will fight hard to protect
Thank you very
them.
much.
Think
Listen,
about it.
you
Your
better not be
desire to defend
satisfied
your
with
kingdom
current
brought us
level.
all together.
No.
We fight hard to help you because of the love you clearly have for Atonis. Oh, well. And when we all work together, there's nothing that can stop us. This is the kind of power a king can wield. He may not always fight on the front lines, but he can still protect his people. I still think I'm better in the thick of a fight. My sister has the brains to rule. I don't mean to be pushy. I'm not trying to talk you into becoming king. I just thought you could use another perspective. I myself hope to become a king who can nurture the bond with his people. I don't know if I'm cut out to be that kind of king, but you are for sure. Thank you for saying so. There's still a long road ahead, but I'm focused on it. If by chance you decide you do want to become king, I hope my words can be a source of inspiration for you. Remember that everything I do is to nurture the bonds between my friends. I'll keep it in mind for sure. I've seen it firsthand on the battlefield, after all. You're an invaluable ally. I'll never forget your courage. I'll continue to watch over you, Rowan, and I'll always treasure our connection. Oh! Angelica? Oh, you scared me!
Sorry. I didn't mean to. You were so focused I didn't want to interrupt.
Sneaking up on people while they're training is dangerous.
You didn't hurt yourself,
All
did
right,
you?
Trunks.
No, I'm
This
fine.
time I'm not holding back.
Something you want to ask me?
I was just wondering.
What is that for?
How come you're always
Super
training so
Saiyan.
hard?
I'm gonna be
I
a
can't
knight.
sense his
And
power.
a knight's gotta be strong, right?
There's
But
this
that means
over
you'll have no
moment
choice
pressure.
except to march into battle.
So, just
that's
how
kind of the
strong
point.
are you right
It's our
now?
duty to fight.
Come on, show
So,
me.
the more battles you win,
insist.
the more
I
dangerous
won't
they'll
hold any
become.
back.
I'm not afraid, Celica. I can't protect anyone if I don't fight. Besides, I'm strong in body and mind. I can stand up to any foe.
I guess you're right. I'm sorry. I'm just worried about you.
Why is that?
You remind me of a childhood friend. His name is Arm. He was always very brave, even when we were children. But once he became strong, he cast himself into war. Our opposing views led to an argument, and I said something terrible to him. I couldn't stop him
It
from
isn't over
fighting,
yet,
so I
Super
lost
Saiyan
him as a
Blue.
friend.
With my father
That can't
and
happen
Goku.
to you.
You're worried I'll push the people close to me away?
Guess there was no
I won't
need
let that
for me.
happen.
How can you be so sure?
What are you
Because of my sister.
about?
She can be kind of bossy.
Is it
but
your
she's
goal to
cautious.
destroy
She's
Black?
always complaining to me about...
your
well,
future
maybe,
enemy,
but
becoming the strongest
I know
in
she'll
the
stop me
universe.
if I try to do something
Proud
reckless.
Saiyan blood.
It's in those
pumps through your
moments I
veins.
realize that she
If you're my
complains
son,
because she cares.
Then I won't
You
tolerate
trust your
losing
sister to
to
look out
anyone.
for you. But what about when she's not around?
That's when my friends are there for me.
You're
They're
certainly
sure
nothing
set
to
me
write
straight.
home about.
For
Are
example,
you feeling okay?
I know I can count on you.
How do you know that?
You came to talk to me because you're worried. It shows you care. So I'll be fine no matter where I am or who I'm with, especially if it's you.
Okay, if I'm by your side, promise me something. If I warn you you're being reckless, you'll stop and think it through. I don't want war to get in the way of our friendship like it did with Alm.
You got it,
People
Celica.
of
It's a
Kantan
promise.
City, Have
If I'm
you
ever
been to
about
the
to do
Hero
something
Coliseum
stupid,
yet?
just let me know. And
There
in
you can
return,
enjoy
I'll become strong
explosive
enough to
figure
protect
battles using
everyone.
the state-of-the-art battle simulator.
Remember your promise.
You've got all kinds of hero figures at your disposal, and you can use and combine them in any way you see fit. The number of combinations is unreal. Mix and match figures to create your own ultimate team.
They were a gift from Melissa.
Oh, they were a gift?
What's wrong? Why are you making that face?
Before you get mad at me, I just want you to know they were pretty gross.
How do you know? You ate them?
You should be thanking me. I did you a favor. Oh, look! Did you see that over there? Something's glowing.
You really think I'm going to fall for that? Hey, wait up!
Look, there! Fireflies!
Seriously, Rowan? Stop trying to change... Did you say fireflies? It's so pretty. Do you remember that one time Mother spotted fireflies? I was so excited I turned around too quickly and twisted my ankle.
I do remember. I wanted to carry you home, but Mother wouldn't let me. I just wanted to be a hero. But she was right. I probably would have dropped you.
I doubt you could even carry me now.
Yeah, I could. But with me protecting you, you'll never get hurt again.
I don't know about that, but you are a lot stronger than you used to be. It's hard to believe you were once a little boy aimlessly swinging a wooden sword.
Oh, a compliment. Thanks, sis. You know, you're not so bad on the battlefield
Welcome,
yourself.
friend.
You've kept me in line more than once. I don't have the head for battle plans.
Lucky you. You don't have to think about being responsible for so many lives. I'm always second-guessing myself, wondering which allies I've let down.
I worry about that stuff too. I'm not completely oblivious. But you're way stronger than you think you are. And this is coming from me. You know I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true.
Of course. I'm really lucky to have you for a brother, Rowan.
Thanks. All this talk is making me hungry.
Me too. I'd offer you some cookies, but someone already ate them.
We're back to this again? I was hoping you forgot all about it.
Not a chance. I think I deserve an apology, don't you?
Sure. Let me just... Rowan! Was that Lissa? I'd better go.
That won't work this time, Rowan. Get back here!
Leanna, is something wrong?
Corin! No, it's nothing.
Really? Because it didn't sound like nothing.
I guess I'm just a little preoccupied.
What's on your mind?
It's no big deal. It's just, I feel like my brother and I are so inexperienced. You're all fighting this war for our kingdom, and we're barely helping.
How can you say that? You two are clearly giving this your all.
We are, but our abilities pale in comparison to everyone else's.
Of course you feel like underachievers. Look who's on your team. Oh, that came out wrong, didn't it? I just mean, don't compare yourself to others. Because the strength of your allies is your strength too.
You think? I know I should be grateful that you all are here in the first place. I just can't help but wonder what would have happened if you weren't.
Let me ask you this. Do you think our being sent here was simply coincidence?
What do you mean?
Every decision you've made, every action you've taken has led to this very moment. I don't think the fact that we're fighting together is a coincidence at all. Your will is what set our fates in motion. We're here because of you.
You really believe that, Corin?
Of course I do. There is a drawback, however. Our time together will, unfortunately, be brief.
I know.
I really wish we could be here to see how everything turns out in your kingdom. But only you and your brother can carve out its future. I know deep in my heart that you will succeed. You're getting stronger every day. Your kingdom will thrive under your leadership.
Thank you, Corin. I'll do my best.
I feel so silly talking to you like this. I'm hardly in a position to give advice. There's a lot I could learn from you and your brother.
What could you possibly have to learn from us?
Don't laugh. You may not always get along, but you have each other's respect. I hope that in the future, Nor and Hoshido can coexist in the same way.
I'm sure you'll make it happen. Everyone in your families loves you so much.
Oh, I know. They won't let me forget it. But I appreciate your confidence in me.
And yours in me.
Leanna, is something wrong?
Corin! No, it's nothing.
Really? Because it didn't sound like nothing.
I guess I'm just a little preoccupied.
What's on your mind?
It's no big deal. It's just, I feel like my brother and I are so inexperienced. You're all fighting this war for our kingdom, and we're barely helping.
How can you say that? You two are clearly giving this your all.
We are, but our abilities pale in comparison to everyone else's.
Of course you feel like underachievers. Look who's on your team. That came out wrong, didn't it? I just mean, don't compare yourself to others. Because the strength of your allies is your strength too.
You think? I know I should be grateful that you all are here in the first place. I just can't help but wonder what would have happened if you weren't.
Let me ask you this. Do you think our being sent here was simply coincidence?
What do you mean?
Every decision you've made, every action you've taken, has led to this very moment. I don't think the fact that we're fighting together is a coincidence at all. Your will is what set our fates in motion. We're here because of you.
You really believe that, Corin?
Of course I do. There is a drawback, however. Our time together will, unfortunately, be brief.
I know.
I really wish we could be here to see how everything turns out in your kingdom. But only you and your brother can carve out its future. I know deep in my heart that you will succeed. You're getting stronger every day. Your kingdom will thrive under your leadership.
Thank you, Corin. I'll do my best.
I feel so silly talking to you like this. I'm hardly in a position to give advice. There's a lot I could learn from you and your brother.
What could you possibly have to learn from us?
Don't laugh. You may not always get along, but you have each other's respect. I hope that in the future Nora and Hoshido can coexist in the same way.
I'm sure you'll make it happen. Everyone in your families loves you so much.
Oh, I know. They won't let me forget it. But I appreciate your confidence in me.
And yours in me. Wow, Ryoma, you know, so much about the history of Hoshido.
Oh, I went off on a tangent there, didn't I? What were we talking about again?
You had a question for me.
Oh, yes. I've sensed that you're quite hesitant to take the throne. Why is that?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I just don't think I'd be very good at it.
Is that so? I can't imagine how you came to that conclusion.
Look at me. I don't have the personality of a queen, let alone the natural abilities. My brother, on the other hand, is a force of nature. He would make a great king.
I see. As a prince of Hoshido, I've had similar concerns. Like you, I believe that a ruler must be an effective leader.
Exactly. So you agree that my brother...
Not necessarily. I also believe that there is more than one way to lead. Some rulers naturally inspire their people. Others must convince those they lead.
Okay.
You and your brother would both make good, yet very different leaders. In an ideal world, you could share the crown, but that's impossible.
Actually, it wouldn't be the first time something like that happened in Atolis.
Interesting. Huh. That sounds like the perfect solution for you two. Such an arrangement would be out of the question in Hoshido or Nor.
It hasn't happened in Gristone either. It's definitely not... typical. But even if my brother and I did share the throne, we'd always be fighting.
Or perhaps you would bring out the best in each other. I've noticed that you're very cerebral, constantly analyzing every situation. And your brother, well, he's always ready for action, isn't he?
That's putting it lightly.
Don't you see? He would push you to act, and you would push him to think. In any case, I hope you consider it. But first, we must take back the kingdom.
Okay, I'll think about it. I'd be a fool to ignore your advice.
A shared throne. I never thought it was possible. Maybe I've been too bound by tradition to consider what's best for my kingdom. What could we achieve if we worked with our opposition rather than against them?
Sounds like you should be taking your own advice. You're going to be a wonderful king, Ryoma. I can already tell.
Thank you. I know you and your brother will lead your kingdom down a great path. People like us hold not only our future, but the future of many in our hands.
We can't let them down.
Leanna, you're wounded. Please, let me take a look at your leg.
No, it's nothing. I fought with injuries much worse than this.
Are you sure? It doesn't look like nothing to me.
Truly, I'm fine.
Look at you, you're in pain. Fuss all you like, but I'm going to treat you.
If you insist. I'm sorry to be so much trouble.
Yes. This should do the trick. See? There was no need to hide anything.
Thank you. I didn't want to be a bother, that's all.
A bother? Why would you think that?
Did you see me out there today? Fighting alongside everyone else? I was useless. The only thing I managed to achieve was this injury.
And so you were just going to sit here and suffer through it? You can't do that.
I know. I'm sorry, Sakura. I never meant to make you worry. I just didn't want to be even more of a burden on everyone, and...
But you aren't a burden at all. Nobody thinks so. Everyone's really impressed by how you communicate out on the battlefield. And people around here aren't known for their generous praise. So chin up.
Thank you, Sakura. You've made me feel a whole lot better.
Really? I'm glad to hear it.
I don't know what I, or any of us for that matter, would do without you. It's reassuring to know that you're out there with us, ready to heal our wounds.
You're so sweet. I hope this means you won't be hiding any more injuries. At least, not from me. I know a thing or two about pretending to be brave.
What do you mean?
I understand why you'd want to hide your wounds from the others.
You do?
Of course. I'm surrounded by all this strength and sense of duty. I'm always worried that I won't be able to keep up. Just like you.
Sakura, you aren't just saying this to make me feel better, are you?
No. I just thought you should know we have more in common than you think.
Please, I wish I were as kind as you, or as thoughtful. Talking to you always puts me at ease. I'm sure everyone else feels the same.
You're making me blush. But thank you for your kind words. Now you're making me feel better.
Then I guess it was a good thing that we had this chance to talk. Maybe it was fortunate I tripped over that rock.
Royal twins. That's quite unusual, isn't it?
You think so? I guess I thought big royal families like yours were more of an oddity.
Yes, there are a lot of us, but we all have different mothers, you know. It's actually a pretty common practice for royal families in my world.
Ah, I see. In Aetolis and Gristone, the king or queen can have only one spouse.
Of course, that's how it is in Nor, too.
Are you saying your mother was the king's... mistress?
Don't be so shocked. All our mothers were. Well, except for Xander's.
How do all those mothers live together and still get along?
Get along? How optimistic of you. In Nor, even the children of mistresses have a claim to the throne. So our mothers have always competed for the king's affection.
You mean it's sibling against sibling, all to see who will inherit the throne?
At times it is. I'm sure Aetolis has seen some similar conflict. Still, you are the older sibling. I'd assume the throne is yours to take.
It's complicated. As the older sister, I do have a bit of an advantage. However, in Aetolis, male heirs can be given preference anyway. I'd be relieved to see my brother become king, but he's... hesitant.
I've noticed that you two are always encouraging the other to take the throne. To be honest, I'm quite jealous of your situation.
But you and your siblings get along so well. My brother and I are constantly biting each other's head off.
It doesn't seem that way to me. Maybe you fight because you're willing to be honest with each other.
Maybe. Well, I'm jealous too. I've always wanted an older brother or sister.
You can have Xander if you want. I'm just kidding. We all like one another, you know, in our own special ways.
How could you not? You're all so wonderful. Even you, Leo. That's why I just can't believe it when you say you're all in competition.
Things weren't always so great between the children of the King of Nor. We could learn a thing or two about palace intrigue just from the stories. But I'll spare you that. It really doesn't seem like something you'd need here.
Are you trying to protect me? So there is a tiny speck of kindness and warmth under that cold exterior.
Is that how you see me? Actually, I'll take that as a compliment. I hope we have another chance to talk again soon, Leanna. I'd like to hear more about Aetolis and your cooperative ways.
Of course. I'm sure there's a lot we can learn from each other. There you are, Crom. I wanted to thank you for helping me out earlier. I shouldn't have gone off like that all by myself. Thank goodness you were there.
Of course. I'm just happy you're safe.
It seems like every time we meet, you're saving my life. Thank you is starting to sound like an understatement.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. Even I need to be saved now and then. In any case, I'm sure you would do the same for me.
Obviously, but you're so quick to action. I don't know if I have rapid-fire instincts like that. Usually I just overthink things until it's too late to do anything at all. I guess it's something I have to work on.
Are you so sure that's a negative quality?
I'll never be able to save anyone if I'm always stuck in my head. I see how you act without hesitation, how you throw yourself into danger. It's amazing. I could never do that.
I think you're wrong, but I'd caution you against using me as an example. I'm often criticized for the same qualities you now praise. Maybe that instinctive approach works when there's an immediate danger, but it's certainly no way to act when there are greater things at stake.
I guess.
Sometimes I wish I had the ability, the impulse to stop and think things through. The point is, we all have our strengths and weaknesses.
You know, your behavior is a little reckless, Crom.
Well now, is that any way to thank me for my kind words?
You're the one who started talking about your weaknesses. But I see your point. You're the guy who takes care of problems as they pop up, and I focus on what's looming ahead. Is that what you meant?
It is. When we combine our strengths is when we are most successful.
Well, I'll do whatever I can to keep our team safe. You're all so wonderful.
It is an incredible army we've put together here.
Especially since we have you. I'm so grateful that you're on our side. I'll never forget what you've done for us.
It has been an honor. Even if I am able to return to my world, you will always hold a place in my heart.
I guess we better get out there, right? I'll do my best to keep you safe.
And I you.
Great job out there. Are you unharmed? Yes, I'm fine. What about you?
I'm all right. I'm on my Pegasus for most of the battle, so I don't tire so easily.
Huh? What is it? Nothing. I was just thinking that you're pretty easy to talk to, for a princess.
Do I not seem very princessly? Well, my kingdom is a small one, and fairly young.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. You're just friendlier than I thought you'd be. But you mentioned your kingdom. What's it like?
I'm glad you're interested. My kingdom is called Talus. It's one of 7 kingdoms, and it's on an island east of the Archanean continent.
7 kingdoms? And Marth was a prince of Altea?
That's right. Altea was a prosperous kingdom and an ally to Talus. Thanks to that alliance, Marth had a place to escape to when he needed it.
Escape? Why? Did something happen to Altea?
It was conquered in a devastating war. We offered Marth shelter for a time, but in the end, it was he who protected us. Talus was attacked by pirates, and Marth led his knights of Altea to fight back. That is why I offered my support when he raised troops and journeyed out.
Wow. You guys have been through a lot together, haven't you? I'm kind of jealous. My adventuring partner has always just been my brother.
But you two help each other all the time, the way all good siblings would.
But it's totally different from what you two have. We're always fighting. My brother isn't nearly as perceptive as Marth.
Perhaps you only see it that way because your bond allows for complete honesty. In truth, Marth and I have not yet reached that kind of bond.
Oh, so you haven't told Marth how you really feel about him?
I have not. I guess I thought feelings so strong would be obvious.
You'd think, but
What would it hurt to be completely honest with him? If you think it works for my brother and me, it should work for you two, right?
Yes, I think you're right. I just need to act honestly. Thank you for the advice. What are you laughing about now?
I'm just surprised, I guess. I've never really had someone to talk to like this.
In that case, can I come to you for advice again?
Of course. I'd be happy to talk about whatever you want. Lynn, is it true that you came to this world all by yourself? You must have been very lonely before you met up with us.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. I'm used to being alone. That's how I lived back on the plains.
Back on the plains? But I thought you were from a noble family.
Only technically. My mother was from a noble family, but not my father. He was the son of a Lorca chieftain, a nomad. My parents eloped in secret, and I was raised as a simple plains dweller.
Did you have any idea who you were? Or who your mother was?
No, my parents were killed by a group of bandits before they could tell me. After that, the Lorca scattered. And I just lived on my own.
How terrible. I'm sorry for bringing all this up.
It's okay. It happened a long time ago.
But I think it explains a lot.
You mean why I don't act like an average member of the noble class?
Oh no, that's not what I meant at all. It explains your strength, your compassion. You're so, I don't know, true to yourself. Me? I'm always worried about acting like a proper princess or big sister. So I'm constantly second-guessing myself and making mistakes.
I understand. I was a bit bewildered to learn about my family's history. Suddenly, I was part of the nobility. It made me question everything.
You were worried about the same things as me?
I was, at first. Then, on my travels, I met some very dear friends. A reliable tactician, an interesting pair of knights, and a Pegasus knight as well. They called themselves Lindis's Legion. I realized that those friendships define me more than any noble bloodline.
Interesting. It's funny. Just like you have your friends from the Legion, I have all of you. So maybe I should worry less about being a princess and more about being a friend.
Agreed. Things like social status shouldn't matter when among friends. We risk our lives for each other, after all.
That's true. I guess I've been pretty foolish all this time.
Not at all. In fact, you're one of the most genuine people I know. You're also one of the biggest worriers I know. And I love you for that.
Thank you, Lynn. Well, I'll try not to worry quite so much about all this.
Good. You shouldn't. But if you do, you'll still have my friendship.
Fire Emblem Warriors.
There you are, Crom. I wanted to thank you for helping me out earlier. I shouldn't have gone off like that all by myself. Thank goodness you were there.
Of course. I'm just happy you're safe.
It seems like every time we meet, you're saving my life. Thank you is starting to sound like an understatement.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. Even I need to be saved now and then. In any case, I'm sure you would do the same for me.
Obviously, but you're so quick to action. I don't know if I have rapid-fire instincts like that. Usually I just overthink things until it's too late to do anything at all. I guess it's something I have to work on.
Are you so sure that's a negative quality?
I'll never be able to save anyone if I'm always stuck in my head. I see how you act without hesitation, how you throw yourself into danger. It's amazing. I could never do that.
I think you're wrong, but I'd caution you against using me as an example. I'm often criticized for the same qualities you now praise. Maybe that instinctive approach works when there's an immediate danger, but it's certainly no way to act when there are greater things at stake.
I guess.
Sometimes I wish I had the ability, the impulse to stop and think things through. The point is, we all have our strengths and weaknesses.
You know, your behavior is a little reckless, Crom.
Well now, is that any way to thank me for my kind words?
You're the one who started talking about your weaknesses. But I see your point. You're the guy who takes care of problems as they pop up, and I focus on what's looming ahead. Is that what you meant?
It is. When we combine our strengths is when we are most successful.
Well, I'll do whatever I can to keep our team safe. You're all so wonderful.
It is an incredible army we've put together here.
Especially since we have you. I'm so grateful that you're on our side. I'll never forget what you've done for us.
It has been an honor. Even if I am able to return to my world, you will always hold a place in my heart.
I guess we better get out there, right? I'll do my best to keep you safe.
And I you.
Shall we call it a day here?
Good idea. Sparring with you wears me out twice as fast.
Still, I can see we are both benefiting from these matches. Always to a draw. But I suspect I'll best you soon.
I wouldn't count on it. I finally figured out Hoshiden's sword techniques. I was thrown off by her posture at first, but now I can handle it with ease.
With ease, huh? Well, your quirky Elysian style is old news to me, too.
Isn't this fun, Ryoma?
Yes, Crom. This is truly enjoyable. I never realized how thrilling it could be to face off against an unfamiliar fighter.
It's not something you experience every day, but we've both grown from it. Your blows are so precise. You find the slimmest openings in my guard. I need to be as methodical and calculating as you with my technique.
The strength of your style is its fluidity. There's never just one means of attack. Your style is clearly informed by experience more than training.
Hearing that from you does wonders for my confidence. And yes, but training and experience are not the only factors at play. It's my bonds with my friends that help me grow into the swordsman I am now.
To hear you say it, I realize that that may be true of me as well. My connections with my siblings inspire me to withstand the strictest of training. They allow me to rouse myself for harsh battles without so much as a flinch.
That is the power our links have. And I've made even more since coming here. Each and every friend I find will make me even stronger. And it goes without saying, Ryoma, our bond is irreplaceable.
I admit, I feel the same. It is truly an honor to have one of your caliber as a friend and sparring partner.
And as long as we share this bond, there's nothing to fear.
We do form a force without equal.
My friends will rest easy knowing I can protect them.
And no sane enemy will dare threaten my siblings.
Well, I think we've had enough rest with all this talking. Don't you agree?
You read my mind. Another match?
And you took the words right out of my mouth. Now, here I come!
Corin? Hello? Are you here?
Ah, I've just sent Corin on a delivery. It shouldn't take long.
You sent someone of Corin's royal stature on a simple delivery? If anything goes wrong, I will personally take it out on you tenfold.
What? Let's be reasonable here.
Prince and Captain you may be, but if Corin is harmed, your name is mud.
I'll take the blame in that case. But really, Camilla, what could go wrong?
Any number of things. Misreading the map, falling off a cliff, you name it.
You know, Frederick was in a similar state when Lissa first went out on her own.
The slightest scratch must be answered with an ocean of blood.
Camilla, this has moved past doting into disturbing.
What's so wrong with being concerned for one's family?
You treat Corin like a child, for one thing. It can become smothering.
But you have Frederick, who fusses similarly over you.
That's very true. When I warn you to pull back, I speak from experience. Every time I go out without checking with him, he upbraids me for hours.
Isn't it a retainer's duty to know where his lord is at all times?
Well, let me put it this way. If I so much as sneeze, he starts knitting a new scarf.
Such impressive devotion. My question is, why are you ever not wearing one?
Maybe I'm not being clear. He insists on doing everything for me, however trivial.
Is it true that he once pinned posters of you all over camp to raise morale?
Let's not speak of that incident. I was so embarrassed that I longed for death.
Oh dear. Is that all Frederick is to you? A nuisance?
No,
his heart's in the right place, and he served me for a long time. But I can never leave camp without him shadowing me to my every destination.
As well he should. I try to keep Corin within arm's reach at all times. No farther, preferably, than this.
All right. I don't need a demonstration.
Oh, how adorable you are with flushed skin. Does my nearness bother you?
That's not the issue.
No? Then you won't mind feeling the effects of my warm embrace either.
Camilla!
Oh, don't worry. I only have room in my heart for Corin. I'll see you later, Crom.
Hey, Crom. You should come play a game.
A game? Uh-oh. Okay, I'm ready.
Welcome.
What do you mean, uh-oh? We're just gonna play hide and seek.
Oh. You haven't set any traps, have you?
Traps? Why would I do something so dangerous when we can finally just play?
Yes, I suppose that's a good point. That's how people normally play, right? When playing with Lissa, I must be on the lookout for all manner of pranks.
What kind of pranks?
Like digging pitfalls and hiding places. Releasing frogs. Or pitfalls full of frogs.
Lissa sounds so funny. You two must be really close, huh? I'm super close with my siblings too, but I've never tried playing pranks on them.
At first, I thought you and Lissa were alike, but now I see that's not the case.
I thought you and my brother Xander were alike at first too. But you two have nothing in common. You're so much more mischievous than he is.
Just what part of me is mischievous?
Well, you destroy castle walls, and you cook food that makes people faint. Xander would never do anything like that.
I didn't destroy a wall. But that would be one way to temper physical strength.
Really? In that case, do you think I could get stronger by destroying walls?
If you put in the hard work every day, sure, I see how that could work.
All right, then I'll give it all I've got. I'm gonna break a wall right now.
I'm glad you're motivated, but don't go breaking too many of our walls.
If Xander caught me, I'd be in big trouble. He always looks so serious, and he says things like, royalty should be dignified. I wish he and I were close like you and Lissa, and that he would play with me.
I'm sure he'd play if you asked. It's a fact that all brothers adore their little sisters.
Even a serious-faced brother with a wrinkle between his eyebrows?
Even one of those. Prince Xander isn't always that serious, is he?
His face may not look it, but he's actually really nice.
Then you should ask him. But I don't mind standing in for him today.
Oh, yay! Actually, I thought of a new game we could play. I haven't tried it out yet, but will you play it with me?
Of course. Any game you want. What kind is it?
It's a contest. We'll pick flowers while singing and weave them into necklaces. But the best part is, we do it all while dancing. So let's get started, okay?
This is a game? She may be more formidable than Lissa.
Father?
Lucina, why do you look so serious?
I've been fighting to change my world's future for so long. I have fought my hardest each and every day, but I've never had a chance to relax.
You have overcome more hardships than most just to make it this far.
But ever since coming to this world, my life has changed so drastically. I still want to change the future, but now I want to save this kingdom as well. After meeting such wonderful allies and journeying with you, well, I must admit, I'm enjoying myself. It's been a long time since I felt this.
If you're having so much fun, why do you look so miserable?
It seems wrong to enjoy myself with this world in such dire straits. I can't let myself lose sight of how serious things are.
Well, you're right about the state of things, but you can't let that consume you. I can smile because I'm looking forward to the time we'll spend together.
You are? Father, thank you. Then I suppose it is okay to feel like I'm having fun. Once in a while.
Exactly. And how do you want to spend our time?
I'd really like to refine my sword skills with you.
Very well. But it's more like I'll be taking lessons from you.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be evenly matched, as always. You taught me all my techniques. I'm just excited we can practice together again.
Well then, we'll start tomorrow. Is there anything else you want to do together?
Perhaps we could
Let's start off
the
easy.
occasional walk?
If you want to survive,
And what else?
you'll use that technique well.
Do our
It's
laundry
not like
together
I'm
too?
expecting anything from the
Frederick
likes
may
of
have
you.
something to say about that,
Show
but
some
I don't mind.
We can really do all those things? I'm so glad.
But is that really all you want to do? Big and significant, I guess?
Father, these are not just trivial tasks to me. Spending a carefree day with you is exactly what I want.
Nicely
It's
done.
like a dream this day ever came at all. I worry I'll be cursed for being so happy.
You worked so hard to get where you are. Why would you be cursed for this? You are no longer on your own. There is no need to carry that weight alone.
Thank you for saying that.
You can depend on me from now on. In fact, it would make me happy if you did.
Despite the chaos of our lives, you really think we can have a normal relationship?
Through thick and thin, with father and daughter. We'll make it work.
Thank you, Father. We'll be together from now on.
And together, Lucina, we will change our fate. A gleamstone hidden within me. I still can't quite believe it.
I'd have trouble believing it myself if I hadn't been there.
Do you remember what the Temple Sage told us about the legend of this land?
That power resides in the gleamstones carried by heroes from other worlds.
Exactly. You mentioned heroes. I'm no hero.
You really believe that? I thought you were a hero long before coming here.
You remember what happened back in Greece, right? If I was a true hero, there wouldn't be so much suffering in my own home. If only I could get stronger.
Regardless of what happened in the past, you've never been one to just sit back. You fight with all your strength for the protection of everything, don't you? That's the Crom that the people, as well as the shepherds, rely upon.
And yet, Lisa's problems remain. The people have been suffering since the last war, and I can't do a thing about it. Except for worry.
There may be hope for you after all.
It's so pathetic.
A burden? Pathetic? You're the only one who thinks that, Crom. If you see someone in need, you help them. Isn't that just your way? Just like when you found me. You had no reason to help me, and yet you did.
That is the only way I know how to live my life.
It's those unwavering ideals that motivate so many people to fight by your side. This is just my opinion, but being a hero doesn't mean you have to be perfect. A hero is someone who cares for the people around him, and who guides them.
So by that logic, without anyone around, a hero is just a normal person?
That's one interpretation, but still, you're always surrounded by friends.
Yeah, you're right. Because I can't do anything by myself.
That's what you're taking away from all this?
Just look at how much I rely on you. Without your aid, who knows where I'd be?
Oh, come on. You're starting to embarrass me. It's the way that you believe in your friends like this that makes you a hero to me.
Greetings.
That's why I'm proud that you were chosen as a hero in this world.
Well, if that's the case, I'll just have to become worthy of the title of hero. And our first step is saving this land. You're coming with me, right, Robin?
Of course. The future you aim for will be the path I walk.
Nothing can stand in our way. Let's go!
We're in this together.
A gleamstone hidden within me. I still can't quite believe it.
I'd have trouble believing it myself.
You gotta be kidding
if
me.
I hadn't been there.
Let's make this quick.
Do you remember what the Temple Sage told us about the legend of this land?
That power resides in the gleamstones carried by heroes from other worlds.
Exactly. He mentioned heroes. And I'm no hero.
You really believe that? I thought you were a hero long before coming here.
Let's work together!
Remember what happened back in
Krillin!
Greece, right?
Yamcha!
If I was a true hero, there wouldn't be so much
Show
suffering
what the
in my own
martial
home.
artists of Earth can
If
do.
only I could get strong.
I'll tell you one
Regardless
thing.
of what happened
There's nothing
in
more
the past,
reassuring than fighting
you've never
alongside
been able to
former
just
rivals.
all your strength for the protection of everyone,
I'm used
don't
to this
you?
kind of
That's
pressure.
The Crom that the
Get a hold
people,
of yourself.
as well as the shepherds, rely
Treat your
upon.
wounds later.
And yet,
Train
Lisa's
so
problems
much,
remain.
still.
The people have been
Damn
suffering
it.
since the last war. And
Just
I can't
watch.
do anything about it.
I'm not going down without a
Worry
fight.
will be a burden. It's so pathetic.
A burden? Pathetic? You're the only one who thinks that, Crom. If you see someone in need, you help them. Isn't that just your way? Just like when you found me. You had no reason to help me, and yet you did.
That is the only way I know how to live my life.
It's those unwavering ideas that motivate so many people to fight by your side. This is just my opinion, but being a hero doesn't mean you have to be perfect. A hero is someone who cares for the people around them, who guides them.
So by that logic, without anyone around, a hero is just a normal person?
That's one interpretation.
Are you
But
even
still,
trying?
you're always surrounded by friends.
Yeah, you're right. Because I can't do anything by myself.
That's what you're taking away from all of this?
Just look at how much I rely on you. Without your aid, who knows where I'd be?
Oh, come on. You're starting to embarrass me. It's the way you believe in your friends like this that makes you a hero to me. That's why I'm proud that you were chosen as a hero in this world.
Well, if that's the case, I'll just have to become worthy of the title of hero. And our first step is saving this land. Coming with me, right, Robin?
Of course. The future you aim for will be the path I walk.
Nothing can stand in our way. Let's go.
We're in this together.
Did I move too far ahead?
Crom, you're alive!
Marth, thank you for coming. Behind you!
You have my thanks. I came here to save you, but instead you saved me.
No thanks are necessary. This whole mess was my fault.
Don't be so hard on yourself. Anyway, let us be off.
Right.
What the?
You really helped
Damn
me
it.
out. I tend to get ahead of myself when it comes to battle. You, on the other hand, fight while also watching out for your comrades.
I cannot simply stand by and watch as those I fight alongside are hurt. But you are always more than brave on the battlefield, Crom. You know this. You remind me of King Anri.
The founder of the Kingdom of Altea? To be compared to him is a little overwhelming. I'm not that great.
But you hold within you the power to accomplish greatness, just like the king.
Of the two of us, I think you're far more deserving of the name Hero King.
Do you truly believe so?
I do. When I return home, I'll tell stories of my battles alongside the great Marth.
But I get so focused on helping everyone that I lose sight of my own safety. It is sorry to think that one lauded as the hero king cannot care for himself.
No, I won't accept that.
I apologize if I said something to upset you.
I'm the one who should apologize. It's impossible not to expect great things from a legendary hero. When we look at you, we can't help but feel that you truly deserve the title. So please, don't be so hard on yourself.
Thank you. You were the first one to explain it that way. In any case, I must improve myself before I am worthy of the title of Hero King.
Marth.
But I will no longer make apologies for being less than perfect. And someday, I will be as worthy of the title as you say. This I swear to you.
And I swear to become as brave and kind a soul as you. As long as we share this bond that spans time itself, I'm sure I can do it. For the sake of both our futures, let us join our power and take the next battle.
Our swords together shall carve a path for us both.
Welcome. I can fight you went pretty deep into the enemy lines back there, no?
Did I? I lost sight of you at some point, granted, but I was in no real danger.
You brat!
Did you forget what
What
you
a
said
bother.
to me after the previous battle?
You got
Lynn,
stronger.
try not to get too far
Whatever.
ahead of the
What about
main
you?
force. You might get
Piccolo,
hurt.
leave
Ringing
the
any
rest to me,
bells?
okay?
I may have said something to that
Don't get
effect.
cocky.
There's no
Just
may
stay
have
close to
about
me.
it. What's with the double standard?
Sorry, just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I'll drop dead from the slightest touch.
I assure you, it has nothing to do with you being a woman.
So
I just
this
think
is
my
where the
heavy
energy
armor
is
gives
coming
me an
from.
advantage when
I'm
fighting
joining
on the
in.
front line.
All right, I get it. You think you know how strong I am just by looking at
Come
me.
on, let me
I
see your
swear, you're
power.
just as bad as Hector.
You're making me nervous with that glare.
Well, I'll make you eat those words. Consider this a challenge.
Oof. I accept
You know,
on these
I
terms.
wasn't just sitting around
If I win,
twiddling my thumbs.
I act as vanguard and you follow behind.
Same
Show
for
me
me
how
then.
strong you
If
are.
I win, you hang back and let me charge ahead.
opponent.
Let's go,
Is it
right now.
so
The sooner
ordinary?
we get this over with, the better.
You're pretty good. That was one heck of a move.
You're better than I gave you credit for.
Same
Shoot.
to you.
It looks
I
like
thought
I
you
didn't
weren't in my
train
league.
enough.
I hate to say this, but I call a draw. Next time, I'll come out on top.
in your dreams.
You've got to be kidding me! How can you be this good?
You. Till then, though, how do we decide who gets to march on the front line?
Oh, right. That was the point of the whole competition to begin with. Well, from all I've seen, I'm loath to stop you from leading any charge you want.
Thanks, but I tied, not won. You ought to get to take the lead, too.
I worry that if we both lead, we'll only get in one another's way.
What if we stick close together and dive into the fray at the same time? The two of us together would be like a hurricane sweeping across the plain.
Huh. I like the sound of that. Even the most valiant warrior can be surrounded or overwhelmed when alone. I worried you would come to that fate, but I'll breathe easier if we fight as one.
You're not immune either. That armor will protect you from everything.
Then we agree. In which case, neither of us need restrain ourselves. Next time, let's act together as the vanguard.
The closer we get, the worse it's going to be for our enemy.
Fire Emblem Warriors.
Phew, we won. Thank goodness my strategy played out how I hoped.
Your strategy? You mean my skills? Did you see how many enemies I cut down?
You still don't trust my tactical sense? I thought I had earned your approval.
Pull your weight in a fight, and you'll always have my approval. But you gotta admit, knights are far more important than tacticians.
You still don't understand that there's more to war than just swordsmanship. Let's hold a short symposium on the art of battle. You may learn something.
Art? Knights don't need art. They just need to train and become strong.
It's a pity you feel that way. To think you'd be a splendid knight otherwise. You may not need tactics to charge in head first, but there are other ways. Let's say, for example, the enemy has 10 times your forces. Even with strong knights, could you win?
Well, victory in that case would be difficult.
But with a keen strategy, sneak attacks, pincers, diversions, see what I mean? You have to admit, strategy and tactics are just as important as any weapon.
Even so, coming up with strategy is a tactician's job, not a knight's.
Not true. A tactician can only plan for the future, not foresee it perfectly. The tide of battle shifts constantly. The front line must know how to adapt. Knights must have good judgment and adapt on the fly. Otherwise, the plan fails.
In other words, knights can't always just do what the tacticians say?
Precisely. Tacticians paint the broad strokes, knights fill in the details. So, if a knight is strong enough to fight, and smart enough to employ strategy...
I know where you're going with this.
If you can protect your friends with your brains as well as your brawn, your skill as a knight will be peerless.
I like the sound of that. That's what I'll become.
That's the spirit. I'm sure you can do it.
In that case, would you mind teaching me strategy?
I wouldn't mind at all. I'll teach you everything I know. Let's start with what informs strategy. I have a list right here.
That is a really long list.
Somewhere out there, an enemy knight is actually putting in the time to study.
I can't let some enemy outclass me. All right, I'll do it. You must be a master tactician, huh? Do you know everything about strategy?
Let me show you
Hardly.
the power beyond.
Strategy is always changing, so I'm always studying.
Then let's study together. We'll each grow in our fields.
I'm sure you'll one day not only become a fine knight, but a fine king as well.
Huh? Become a fine what? And a what win?
You'll be great, Roman. Now let's get started. Do you have a minute, Corin? I've been wanting to talk to you. Tell me, do you believe our choices are really
Let's work
ours
together!
to
Krillin!
choose?
Yamcha!
I'm not sure I follow.
We're gonna show what the martial artists of Earth can
Or do you think they're already
I'll
made
tell
for
you
us?
one thing.
Well,
There's
that's a
nothing more
terrifying
reassuring than
prospect.
fighting alongside
What's going
former
on
rivals.
about this?
I'm not really sure. I guess the idea of destiny has just been on my mind. And I can't shake the worry that my feelings and impulses aren't my own.
Here goes.
Well, I've always
Ultra
believed that my
instinct!
choices are mine and mine alone. Like, fate is just a series of
will show
paths
you
one
the
can
true
take,
power
but it's
of
up
a
to you to
Saiyan.
decide which. So my future is still guided by will.
Okay, I think I understand what you're saying.
And if some godlike being thinks she can tell me what to do, I'm gonna find her and put an end to her hijinks.
You don't think she'd see it coming? She'd be a god after all.
So it's not a perfect plan. Anyway, what do you believe?
I'd like to believe that I do more than just choose a
Let's
path.
work together.
What other option is there?
Yamcha!
To build my...
We're gonna show 'em what the martial artists of Earth can do.
I'll tell you one thing. There's nothing more reassuring than fighting alongside former rivals.
I want to be the architect of my own fate.
I'm
I
sorry.
can see how that idea might be appealing.
Don't die! Tien!
I can't help but believe that my will serves something bigger than myself.
And I can only hope that the
Krillin!
opposite is true.
Oh no!
I guess choice plays a different
bad
role for you
feeling
than
came
for me.
true!
Think about it. I'm a tactician, you're royalty. What can we do but try to play the hands we are dealt?
Nothing, I guess. Though we do agree on one thing, that our decisions have consequences. Your perspective has me thinking, though.
Well, if you're ever in need of a different point of view, I hope you come see me. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's overthinking outcomes.
Excellent. I'll offer you the same service. Maybe I'll convince you to take a pre-made path every once in a while.
I guess that wouldn't be so bad. I look forward to more philosophical debates in our future, Corin.
Me too.
Do you have a minute, Corin? I've been wanting to talk to you. Do you believe our choices are really ours to choose?
I'm not sure I follow.
Are our decisions our own? Or do you think they're already made for us?
Well, that's a terrifying prospect. What's gotten you thinking about this?
I'm not really sure. I guess the idea of destiny has just been on my mind. And I can't shake the worry that my feelings and impulses aren't my own.
Well, I've always believed that my choices are mine and mine alone. Like, fate is just a series of paths one can take, but it's up to you to decide which. So my future is still guided by will.
Okay, I think I understand what you're saying.
And if some godlike being thinks she can tell me what to do, I'm gonna find her and put an end to her hijinks.
You don't think she'd see it coming? She'd be a god after all.
So it's not a perfect plan. Anyway, what do you believe?
I would like to believe that I do more than just choose a path.
What other option is there?
To build my own. I want to be at the center of many ever-present paths. I want to carve out a single path for myself as I go. In short, I want to be the architect of my own fate.
I can see how that idea might be appealing, but I can't help but believe that my will serves something bigger than myself.
And I can only hope that the opposite is true. I guess choice plays a different role for you than for me. Think about it. I'm a tactician, you're royalty. What can we do but try to play the hands we are dealt?
Nothing, I guess. Though we do agree on one thing, that our decisions have consequences. Your perspective has me thinking, though.
Well, if you're ever in need of a different point of view, I hope you come see me. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's overthinking outcomes.
Excellent. I'll offer you the same service. Maybe I'll convince you to take a pre-made path every once in a while.
I guess that wouldn't be so bad. I look forward to more philosophical debates in our future, Corin.
Me too.
Did you write these War Council briefs, Robin? I don't recognize the handwriting.
I did. I've just been trying to make my script a little more legible. Actually, I got the idea from you, Lord Xander. Your writing is so polished. What a difference it makes when you can actually read what you just wrote.
Indeed. It's heartening to see someone skilled like you seek self-improvement. My retainers, Harry and Laszlo, do not show the same drive.
I'm so happy!
Maybe they just don't like to talk about it.
You know about that. There's one thing Laszlo likes to do, it's talk.
Brat!
He's
What a
great at his
bother.
work, when he's not too busy flirting to do it.
Piccolo's trick!
I see.
I won't lose that
But
either!
what about Perry?
All right.
I've heard stories of her bloodlust
Show me
on the
that hidden
battlefield.
power of yours.
Oh, Harry has her quirks. One of which is not sitting still for more than a minute. She's irreplaceable in battle, but it's for the less violent parts of the job.
You need Laszlo.
Sorry to bother your battle,
Despite his
but I'm here to put an end
flirtatious
to it.
tendencies. You know, charm's not the worst quality to have.
That's what I used to think as well.
All
Until he
right,
started
let's get
reporting
this
for
going.
duty in tears, worked up over his latest rejection.
You're pretty good.
I don't envy you there, Lord Xander.
That was
I
one
just
heck
wish
of a
there was a way
move.
to curb his
you
desire
okay,
for
Piccolo?
female attention.
Looks
like this is the end for me.
Let me think. Maybe when he really needs a little more confidence.
Even though I'm in a lot of trouble
Couldn't you
right
give him
now,
some kind of pep talk?
this is still a
I'm
whole lot
not
of
sure
fun for
I
me.
feel comfortable getting so personal with my retainers.
Quite right. My apologies.
Wow!
I've got
You
it.
really are strong.
What if all his interactions with women led him back to something work-related?
An interesting thought. But how could that be accomplished?
The next
You've
time
gotta be
Laszlo has
kidding
his
me.
heart set on
How
a young
can you
lady,
be this good?
you should hire her. That way, whenever he thinks about her, he will also think about work.
You have confidence in this plan?
I do. I have complete confidence.
Then perhaps I'll give it a go. You've been quite helpful today, Robin. You've given me hope that Laszlo might someday improve.
It's an honor to assist you, Lord Xander. I'd be happy to help whenever you need me.
Thank you. I'll be coming to you for more brilliant ideas soon enough.
I've been bested. You really trounced me there, Robin.
By the skin of my teeth. Honestly, I didn't think it would be so close.
I knew that 64th move was a mistake. I could have used a pincer attack from there.
A pincer then would have actually hastened my victory by 2 moves. It's a fairly standard technique we use on the battlefield in Elise.
You're saying you were anticipating that? I thought you'd never played this game before. Have I been duped?
No, but I've played very similar games, where you use the board as a battlefield.
As have I, though clearly my experience was not as useful as yours. In Nor we have a game called chess that's a lot like this. I'm the best in my family. I was sure I could beat you too. Although now that I've gotten the hang of it, care for a rematch?
We can play as many times as you like. I'm sure we'll learn a lot from each other. And beating you never gets old.
Line up your pieces. The first thing you'll learn is taking defeat with dignity. I think you're underestimating me, by the way. One battle doesn't win a war.
Oh, I don't believe you'll be a pushover. You kept me on the ropes for most of that last game. That famous Norian strategy confused me more than once. Let's just say I'd hate to meet you on the battlefield.
Do I detect a hint of sarcasm in your voice?
Not at all. I'm very interested in learning about your battle tactics and techniques.
Of course you are. That would give you quite an advantage in this game.
No, Leo. I'm talking about your literal battle tactics, like on the field. I'm sure if we combined our expertise, our strategic options would expand.
I see what you're saying now. I guess as a tactician, you're always looking for new ideas, aren't you?
So, will you teach me, Leo?
Of course, but only if you beat me in this next match, and I won't make it easy.
Interesting. You're on. Now that something's actually at stake, I have a feeling this game will get heated.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how long your confidence lasts. Are we ready now? Good. Why don't you take the first move, Robin?
Welcome.
You're going to need all the help you can get.
Ha! Get ready, Leo. You're about to see a true tactician at work.
A gleamstone hidden within me. I still can't quite believe it.
I'd have trouble believing it myself if I hadn't been there.
Do you remember what the Temple Sage told us about the legend of this land?
That power resides in the gleamstones carried by heroes from other worlds.
Exactly. He mentioned heroes. And I'm no hero.
You really believe that? I thought you were a hero long before coming here.
You remember what happened back in Elise, right? If I was a true hero, there wouldn't be so much suffering in my own home. If only I could get stronger.
Regardless of what happened in the past, you've never been one to just sit back. You fight with all your strength for the protection of everyone, don't you? That's the Crom that the people, as well as the shepherds, rely upon.
And yet, Elise's problems remain. The people have been suffering since the last war, and I can't do a thing about it. Except for worry and be a burden. It's so pathetic.
A burden? Pathetic? You're the only one who thinks that, Crom. If you see someone in need, you help them. Isn't that just your way? Just like when you found me. You had no reason to help me, and yet you did.
That is the only way I know how to live my life.
It's those unwavering ideals that motivate so many people to fight by your side. This is just my opinion, but being a hero doesn't mean you have to be perfect. A hero is someone who cares for the people around him, and who guides them.
So by that logic, without anyone around, a hero is just a normal person?
That's one interpretation, but still, you're always surrounded by friends.
Yeah, you're right. Because I can't do anything by myself.
That's what you're taking away from all this?
Just look at how much I rely on you. Without your aid, who knows where I'd be?
Oh, come on. You're starting to embarrass me. It's the way that you believe in your friends like this that makes you a hero to me. That's why I'm proud that you were chosen as a hero in this world.
Well, if that's the case, I'll just have to become worthy of the title of hero. And our first step is saving this land. You're coming with me, right, Robin?
Of course. The future you aim for will be the path I walk.
Nothing can stand in our way. Let's go!
We're in this together.
Step right up! Everything in the store is half price today and today only. Oh wow, if it isn't Robin. Take a look around. We've got quite a selection.
It's so busy in here. Are you sure I won't be distracting you?
Of course not. Any friend of mine is considered a VIP.
Let's have a look then. Oh, wow. You weren't kidding about that sale.
No, I wasn't. And there's an additional discount for regular customers.
Really? You're basically giving this stuff away. How can this be? This sword is so light. It almost feels like a toy.
Ah, Mistletoe. A legendary swordsman once used it to save an entire village.
Does that story fool anyone, Anna? Though it would be good for defense.
Give it a swing. It's got a lot of power. I'll even let you borrow it if you want.
Ha! No thanks. I think it's meant for someone a little more pretentious. But this spear is pretty interesting. Are those shells?
Right now you're holding the Summer of Bones, a legend in the southern lands. It flies completely straight when thrown, and is known to make its wielder sigh.
And that's a selling point? Huh. A throwing spear with shells. Weird.
Maybe, but one attack with a spear can incapacitate a tactician instantly.
A tactician? I'll just put this down then. Weapons from this world are impressive. I've seen some take out multiple enemies in one blow without taking any damage.
You don't have weapons in your world that can do that?
No, I'm used to a weapon breaking after you use it over and over again.
Yikes! Weapons from your world sound super inconvenient.
No, it just means you have to treat them with care. Bond with them.
I bet if I took these weapons to your world, I'd make a killing.
What? How would you even get them there?
Leave the business plans to the experts, Robin. You got here, didn't you? All I have to do is figure that out, and then boom, I'll be swimming in cash.
But wearing down your enemy's weapons is a battle tactic.
So you're saying I might face some resistance on the other end? Huh. Well, once they see what these babies can do, they'll be lining up for one. As a thank you for giving me this idea, I guess I should give you a profit share.
Really? Well, thank you, Anna. You really are quite the businesswoman.
Hey, there are no discounts for flattery, except on the mistletoe.
No offense, but you couldn't pay me to take that sword.
Good morning, Robin. Robin, wake up! I have to talk to you about something really important.
Next battle,
Well, not that important, I guess. It's about our powers.
Crom, no!
Robin, it's me, Tiki. Are you okay?
I must live alongside.
Oh, Robin, you're sweating like crazy, and you're so pale.
Why did this happen to me?
It's just a dream, Robin. It's just a dream. Wake up. Please wake up.
Tiki, what are you... What's going on?
Welcome.
It was just a dream. Yeesh. You had me worried there for a second.
Oh, yeah, I must have overslept. Thanks for waking me up.
You were talking in your sleep just now. Something about Crom.
No matter how many times I have this dream, I can't recall details.
Really? That happens to me too. In my dreams, I turn into an uncontrollable monster that attacks all my friends. The next thing I know, I wake up to the sound of my voice screaming, "Don't!"
Those dreams sound awful.